The world is perfect, inasmuch as it accurately represents the clashing thought patterns of the imperfect people in it. All proclaim to want change for the better of self and progeny. Most think the coming change of which Sam Cooke sang is mere fantasy. Reality for them is a life expected to get worse, then magically reverse once they leave this earth. Fewer still can actually see how all of the above applies to the following affirmations: ask and ye shall receive, what you sow is what you reap. But imagine, your life is a farm, and the soil is not only fertile, it's immortal. It develops and nurtures anything you choose to plant or allow to be planted in it, even the seeds of things to which you paid no attention. Now pay attention. Any seed that takes root in your soil shall return to you larger at harvest. Repeat. Any seed that takes root in your soil shall return to you larger at harvest. Think of everything you think you are. A mother, a father, a whore, an alcoholic, a mechanic, a doctor, a student, an artist, valuable, worthless, beautiful, ugly, arrogant, conceited, incapable of trusting, angry at the world for not loving you. Now recall the freedom of you. When everything you think you are today wasn't permanent truth. In those moments, you were constantly changing, constantly playing with grand ideas about what to become here in this world that perfectly aligned with every change made inside. Never once did you realize you were poor, till television and radio sold you rich images while prophesying you envious. You agreed, became envious of the rich, and thus poor. Never once did you see anything less than beauty in the mirror till someone whose opinion you respect compared you to their personal standards while prophesying your complexion and proportions unattractive. You agreed and became unattractive. Once the seed is planted, the harvest it shall happen. But for an idea to continue blossoming on the farm within, the farmer has to take the seeds and plant them again. Because everything born dies. The best and worst thoughts you've hidden deep down inside have been born and died 1,000,000 times at least. They are the same seeds you secretly harvest and replant several hundred times a week, included in the prayers before you eat and go to sleep. In every conversation, they are the current underneath. You've known words have power. No one told you the power isn't in, but behind the words you speak. Or the reason that silence is golden is that it blesses you with the fortune of hearing yourself, possibly tearing yourself apart. Which blesses you with the fortune of bringing self-destruction to a halt should you so choose. If only you knew, your difficulties are not your fault. Your difficulties are not your fault. Your difficulties are your thoughts. You are responsible for them. Have a responsibility to them, even if no one taught you to control or use them beyond basic calculations in the exchange system of labor for payment or ego manipulation. Get what you want at the disregarded expense of other people's pain and follow the suffering back to its source, back to the moment another soul was allowed to determine your worth, decide the pinnacle of your position. It may have sounded like this: you ain't ever gonna be shit. Repeat. You ain't ever gonna be shit. Now, follow the repetition to the point where you agreed. Stand in this memory and hear me. You were already the shit. That's why the soil is so fertile.
Come on.
You harvested everything you planted. That's why the world is so perfect. Now, if you don't like oranges, dig up the orchard and plant apples. If you don't like roses, dig up the bushes and plant snapdragons. If you don't like anger, pull up the weeds and plant compassion. But it's your farm, it's your mind. You're responsible for what happens in this perfect world. And that the world is perfect will make so much more sense once you plant this seed belief. Perfection is not a synonym for easy. Repeat. Perfection is not a synonym for easy. Repeat. Perfection is not a synonym for easy. Now follow the repetition to the point where you agree.